Am I still holding SEI? The answer is yes for me, even though nothing I say is financial advice, and even though I'm not telling anyone to do anything. This is just personally a reflection on what I'm doing personally, and just what I'm doing overall when it comes to SEI. Now, I get it. Sometimes you like to say, oh, the price has not been doing the best. Well, again, a bunch of altcoins are not doing the best, so it's not really a surprise to me, but at the same time, why am I still holding? Because even though $7 is around a 43x from here, and again, because of the pullback, it is quite a ways away. I'm totally aware of that. But at the same time, when the price isn't doing the best, what I focus on is the fundamentals. What I focus on is the project a little bit viable in terms of kind of what it's trying to do. Now, to me, nothing so far that I've seen when it comes to SEI indicates to me that it's hypothetically not that viable fundamentally. Now, in terms of the price, it's a different case. But in terms of fundamentals, I haven't seen that because when I take a look at it, even SEI themselves talk about how it's allegedly the fastest EVM, or should I say Ethereum virtual machine blockchain for high frequency applications, at least what I can see from their site. That statement, right? That's pretty impressive in my opinion, because there's a lot of projects out there that have an aspect of EVM, or should I say again, Ethereum virtual machine, but then supposedly this is the fastest EVM blockchain for high frequency applications. So yeah, that's just pretty surprising to me actually, considering the amount of competition it has. Now, people may be thinking, okay, like why does that really matter? Well, it's because Ethereum, it's a very massive layer 1 blockchain. I mean, SEI is never going to be more popular than Ethereum in my perspective. So having that aspect right there, I don't think it's such a bad thing. Some other projects out there, I feel like previously they just kind of had this sort of mindset where they didn't want to have an aspect of EVM. A lot of them just wanted to be this kind of own sort of thing, and then they didn't really care about it. But I think a lot of other projects out there are beginning to kind of open up to the aspect of, having an aspect of EVM, because if we take a look at it, again, clearly, Ethereum is just such a popular layer 1 blockchain. It's pretty difficult for a project out there to kind of say, oh, we're going to be overtaking that, because I don't think there's going to be this new emerging thing that's just going to straight up overtake something like Ethereum like that, again, especially as a layer 1 blockchain. So seeing something like this, I think when it comes to SEI, showcases that it's kind of willing to adapt to the situation, right? It's kind of willing to, I think, showcase that, you know what? It's not a project that's, very unflexible in a way where the approach isn't that kind of, again, flexible, right? Where it's like, oh, we only want to do this and do that. No, it doesn't feel like that to me. So again, I like the whole vibe overall when it comes to SEI. Now, supposedly, even according to them, right, high-frequency applications can be built that settle in 400 milliseconds. That's very impressive. I mean, that's less than half a second. So, I mean, it is what it is. Am I going to be building applications? No, but, that's a pretty cool statistic nonetheless. That's the way to take a look at it. And also, when I take a look at, for instance, how SEI is allegedly backed by Circle, which is the creator of USDC, I find that pretty impressive actually, because if we take a look at something like, Circle, they clearly don't need SEI, that's the way to take a look at it, just in my perspective, just because they're so massive. If let's say they didn't back SEI, like I don't think they would really care actually, if personally, just my perception, because why would they? They're so massive. But at the same time, if they actually back a project, let's say, I feel like there would have to be a little bit more conviction to it, right? There would have to be some sort of driving factor, because or not, why would they do that? If let's say it is just me and I'm just believing in projects that I'm a fan of and just dollar cost averaging, it's a little bit different than something like Circle, right? They probably have a team, they probably have a discussion. So seeing how, again, allegedly SEI is backed by something like Circle, which is publicly listed, I think that right there kind of showcases a little bit, kind of maybe the fundamentals of SEI. I'm not saying it's the best, but at the same time, that's pretty impressive seeing that. Now, is Circle only just backing SEI as a project? No. I mean, for instance, Circle is also backing another project called Zepic, which is kind of this miniature version, a little bit of Stellar, but then with a Solana aspect. Well, again, yeah, it's not the only one, but I'm just saying, when it comes to something like SEI, I just find that very impressive nonetheless, so I wanted to mention that. Now, I also like kind of the AI ecosystem when it comes to SEI, because I do like the narrative of that, and if we take a look at it, according to Grandview Research, the AI market is expected to be worth nearly $2 trillion by 2030. So it's pretty impressive. Now, 2030 is still ways away, but I think if anything, it kind of shows the trajectory a little bit of maybe what that space could be. Now, when I take a look at it, is the AI ecosystem on SEI going to become the best? I think probably not. But you know what? It's the thought that counts in my opinion, because just even seeing like an AI ecosystem on SEI, for instance, I think that's already a pretty big victory in and of itself, because other projects out there, the ecosystem is kind of not really that existent, really. I mean, it's like, okay, they say they have an ecosystem, but what's going on there, right? The project's just not really doing anything. But when it comes to SEI, it's at least kind of already had some results in terms of, the ecosystem, in terms of its backers and stuff like that. It's already been a little bit proven. Other projects out there, they haven't really been that proven yet in some cases. So this is why when it comes to SEI, despite not having the lowest market cap out there, despite not being a microcap or something like that, I still am a fan of it, because I think even with a market cap right now around $1 billion because of the pullback, I feel like a project like this gives me a little bit more, I feel like, perceived stability when compared to, let's say, like a $5 million market cap, or like 2 or 3 million or something, just because, again, the amount of holders, the popularity, the listings. Not to say that when it comes to, say, it's just going to stay at $1 billion forever, because, I mean, we saw not too long ago, even like back in April, the market cap was around 730 million. So in theory, things could always hypothetically go lower, but I'm just saying, like, even at around that $730 million market cap range, it's not like it's 700 grand or like, 10 million range where it just feels like, who knows about the stability of the project. So I still do kind of like that. But then at the same time, I don't really want to believe in a project that has a way too massive market cap either. So this is something that I don't mind. Now, I'm not only just holding SEI, but I'm saying sometimes I do look for a project that has this kind of vibe, right? Where the market cap is a little bit kind of not too small, not too massive, but then also it has an established kind of following, and also the fundamentals are pretty decent. So yeah, that's why I haven't given up when it comes to SEI, and that's why I'm still holding. When is there going to be an altcoin season? I mean, I don't have the answer to that question, because the only thing I can do is stay patient. Like, whatever I do, or whatever I do on a price chart, let's say I pulled up a price chart, I drew a triangle or something like that, like, even at that point, I'm not going to be able to know the start of an altcoin season, let's say, if it ever even does happen during the cycle. Like, the market's not going to care about that. So instead, I just dollar cost average once a month into my favorite projects. I hold and I wait, and that's about it. And feel free to subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I hope you all have a nice day. I want to say thank you for watching. It's Willie the Captain, and I'll catch you all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.